You know Luis Ortega. Straight A student, captain of the football team. The perfect boy everyone either wants or wants to be. What if I told you there was a way we could ruin his life like he ruined yours? That we could make him pay for what he did to you, to us. If we succeed, he'll lose everything. If we get caught, we do. But is there any more worthy cause? So, what do you say? Hello.
Well, hello. Good afternoon, Sonora. How are you?
I'm great. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about your new book, The Luis Ortega Survival Club.
Thank you.
Well, tell us about the theme of the book and why you wrote it, and it just how much it meant to you to help change people's lives.
Thank you. So the book is basically in a short pitch, it's John Tucker Must Die meets Promising Young Woman, but make it YA without the murder. So it's a revenge book where the main character teams up with an anonymous pen pal to get revenge on the guy who wronged her or wronged both of them. And eventually they form a little club that is all about getting revenge on this guy. And I wrote it partly because of my own experiences and wanting to see people like me, people who have been kind of wronged or traumatized in some way, get justice and get their happy ending, even if they have to make it for themselves.
It sounds like a book that has bullies in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had bullies growing up, man, and I remember them vividly. I remember all three of their names from elementary school, junior high, and high school. And I wish I had a club like this just to kind of to help cope with it, because you couldn't go to your parents, you couldn't
Yeah.
go to school, your friends, you look like a coward if you said anything, right?
Yeah.
But I had some of those awful, like right out of the movie experiences, with bullies.
Yeah. It's definitely something where um it's kind of like a revenge fantasy where like this book is just the fantasy for someone who like wants to see justice be served in a way that is just, you know, perfectly justified, and where the victims can just fully like find their found family and have their happy ending without having to deal with all the, you know, negativity and everything like that. So of course they still have to deal with negativity, like they still have the trauma that happened, and they still have, you know, the culture surrounding it where people aren't so um nice about it.
That's a good
uh,
word.
yeah, but ultimately they do fight for their happy ending, and they, yeah, so
And in celebration of Pride Month, this is part of the Epic Pride Tour. Do you have other authors that are touring too? Tell us about that.
yes, so we toured with Jason June, who's the author of Riley Weaver Needs a Date to the Debutante Ball, and Abdi Nazemian, who's the author of Only This Beautiful Moment. And we toured with all three books together.
And isn't it important for LGBTQ teens to see themselves reflected in books? I mean, did you have any books helping you growing up and your experiences?
Yeah, so for me growing up, I kind of wasn't much of a reader because I have a learning disability, and I thought I wasn't smart enough to read books because we all had to read them in school. And so with only school um to like evaluate my reading, I felt like I wasn't smart enough. I felt like I didn't deserve to like get to do it. So I never read as a kid up until it was probably The Hunger Games that came out, that I was like reading, and it was fun and I actually enjoyed it. And also like a lot of my younger like reading experiences that I actually enjoyed was fan fiction, because I felt like it was like this kind of like forbidden, like you're not actually supposed to, like it's not, you know, academic or whatever. So I didn't have to feel like I wasn't smart enough or anything. So that kind of like opened the gates for like me to actually start reading again. And then I started reading like published books and everything. So it just kind of went from there.
And as an author, what's your routine? Do you have a specific place you write, a certain time of day, whenever inspiration hits you, or
I write as much as I possibly can, but I always have to write with people. So I can write with a friend over Zoom. I can write at a coffee shop where other people are also working or studying. I can meet up with some writing friends and we'll all just write together. Sometimes people come to my house, I go to their house, we go to a coffee shop, anything, but I always try to do it like just as much as I can.
and fan reaction and interaction about your books? Do you support, are you in contact with your fans, like social media, to hear a lot of response?
Oh yeah, I love hearing response from the fans. Like I love hearing what readers think about it. Of course, like I'm not going to check like, Goodreads or anything like that to like the reader spaces or reader spaces and they can have that and it's not necessarily for me, but if they want me to know how they felt about it and they like DM me or like I meet them in person at a signing or something, I'm always so happy to hear their thoughts. And I love hearing from readers. It's amazing.
That's wonderful. And the Luis Ortega Survival Club, do you have an age recommendation for the reader?
Yeah, so I think high school age is perfect. But I do think it can be read for like you don't have to be like young to read it. You can be an adult, you can be a little younger, but it does deal with some heavy subject matter. So there are trigger warnings in the beginning of the book, so make sure you check those out to make sure that you can take care of yourself and read at your own, pace and everything. So
And as an author, I'm sure you have plenty of ideas. Are you working on your next novel?
oh, yes, I am. So my next novel is something that's not quite announced yet, so I can't say too much, but it is focused on kind of like a mental health. And it's another, queer Mexican book. That is what I'm always going to write.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
love
it's
your
like a
name. I love Sonora because we're the Mojave Desert out here, and
oh, nice.
you're
Thank you.
next door. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations and all your success. And let's talk again soon. Come visit us in Las Vegas soon. We'd love to have
I
you.
would love to. Thank you so much.
Let's talk again soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you.